words he asked him 3 years ago. And the craziest part is that most of the characters never got a happy ending. Whilst Jun-Ho was given Jun-Hee's baby along with 456 billion won for his uselessness. If you pay attention, Jun-Ho might actually be the most...
Okay, let's go. New Twitch leeching method? What is this?
Oh, look at you, cookies. Times two. Times two again. 18.
What is this?
18 times 4, Cookie. Do the math and send. 18 times 4. Miss Tazar, send again.
So she's just... Oh, this is just basic femdom stuff. Not femdom, like female domination, but financial domination. Only mindless, nonstop asking for subs and donations from viewers. The reason why she's doing this and why I think people are buying into it is because they get into it. They get into doing this. This is the whole point. And the reason why she's being rude or entitled, the guys that are into this kind of stuff want to be mistreated because it's part of the fantasy. Weirdos? Definitely weird. I didn't say it wasn't weird. I just said it's what happens. Yeah, and there's plenty of other guys that are into other weird stuff and everything like that.
Wait a mintte. I've played these games before.
When I came to you with those calculations, we thought we might start a chain reaction that would destroy the entire world.
I want to say also, please keep the gold trades at least 10 gold this time, preferably 100 gold, 34 gold. Thank you very much. I appreciate that comment. With 69 gold, thank you so much. I appreciate that as well. Thank you, man. We're already up over 200 gold. Thank you so much.
Hey, what's up guys, Rip here. So today we're going to be once again talking about Pokimane because she made another virtue signaling slop post on Twitter that is backfiring horribly. Now I'm not quite sure where I heard this, but someone once said that Pokimane, in her attempt to stay relevant, every couple of months she comes out with a very dumb take that a lot of people will talk about, and she's doing it for attention. But here I am giving attention. I'm not exactly throwing her a Twitch Prime or anything like that. We're just farming her for content. Now, we've talked about Pokimane twice in the past year or so, beginning with this right here, where she said that the entire streaming scene is completely dominated by men. Now, of course, if you look at the actual statistics, there's plenty of female streamers that are doing really well. The difference is, it's just not Pokimane, and also she doesn't recognize the fact that many VTubers have done very, very well, including people like Iron Mouse, who at one time was the most subscribed to Twitch streamer in the world. The other thing we talked about was a crazy eat the rich type take she made. Of course, Pokimane being a multi-millionaire made this very awkward. In addition to that, very hypocritical, because she's the same person who only about a year or two ago would call people broke boys for not being able to afford her overpriced cookies.
Do you think someday we'll have a revolution like that in America? Right? It's getting there, right?
We already have one.
Another one.
What's going on?
The wealth disparity is getting bad.
The wage gap, I hate that shit.
No, wealth disparity. Wage gap is like between men and women. Men and women, we love each other.
Facts.
And we hate the rich. Anyway. Too much.
Aren't you the rich?
No.
Oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard when you're an idiot, but like if you're a broke boy, just say so.
And now we're doing the wildest transition in history. We're gonna go from that to Diddy. Yes, because it's relevant for context somehow, right? So if you didn't see the news, Diddy was acquitted of the most serious offenses he was facing, but he was convicted on a different offense and he's awaiting sentencing for that. And a lot of people have had reactions to this, including Johnny Somali of all people, saying Diddy got off and I'm next. Unfortunately for Johnny Somali, he can't afford the very high-priced lawyers that are responsible for getting Diddy off on those charges. On top of that, Johnny, I wouldn't compare yourself to Diddy. I don't think that's a comparison any person should be making. But anyways, there was some celebrations going on outside of the courthouse in the most shameful display I think I've ever seen in my life. I can't even play the video because it gets too inappropriate for YouTube, but basically there was a crowd of people throwing a party outside of the courthouse where people were pouring baby oil on each other and twerking and taking their clothes off and stuff. And at one point, the girl in the blue here She twerked so hard her weave literally fell off. It's an embarrassing sight. And if it sounds familiar, it's because you watched the Boondocks. Because in the first season of the Boondocks, there was an episode where R. Kelly was on trial and he got off, and people were throwing a big party inside and outside of the courthouse. Like, basically, parody has become reality. Now we reach Pokimane, who with this statement I believe is referencing the results of the Diddy trial, where she says, "Believe victims." Stunning and brave post. Now, we've seen this mentality before. It's really the foundation of the Me Too movement, which caused all kinds of harm. It got innocent people locked up, got their lives ruined. It also hurt real victims because people started to become even more suspects of people making allegations because there were so many false ones being made. You can see how this sort of idea of believe all victims, at its foundation, if you're being charitable, is something trying to do something good, right? But in practice, it can backfire really badly if you take it to the extreme. And of course, the comment section is absolutely eviscerating her, and the quotes are much worse, okay? So here's one example of probably hundreds where this person says, "I was R-worded by Pokimane in 1997. Now this tweet has 179,000 likes. Now using the Pokimane type logic here, you have to believe this person. On top of that, this is Twitter, and we all know that more likes on your tweet is equally related to the veracity of your claim, so clearly that's a lot of likes right there, so that adds some more truth to this statement if we're playing that sort of a game. We have another tweet here saying Pokimane stole $500,000 from me. I hope you contact the authorities and you get your money back. That's very tragic. Now, we're making jokes, right? People are trying to clown on this whole tweet and make wild accusations against Pokimane. That's like the joke here. And there were some very, very dark, deep, crazy things people were saying in the replies, right? But only one reply out of the thousands got under Pokimane's skin as much as this, to the point where it's the only hidden reply. It comes from Madam Savvy. That's someone we've talked about with their various takes, whether it's on tweets or threads. Someone we definitely respect, and someone we respect even more for sharing her brave story, where she says, Pokimane gave me AIDS and kicked my salamander. I can't believe that happened. You know what? The thing is, hearing her testimony has really, it sparked something in me. I gotta share my story, my encounter with Pokimane. Here it goes. So, it was a cold Chicago night on January 29th, 2019. I had just finished having a delicious sandwich at my local Subway. And as I left the store, I was on the phone when I saw a figure emerge from the shadows, and I instantly recognized it as Pokimane. Now, she started by yelling slurs at me, and the closer she got, the more aggressive she got. She began wailing on me, and I can't forget this. It's burned into my memory. Hold on, I need a second. I remember at one point, Pokimane opened up a box of her overpriced cookies and poured it on top of me and said, "What are you, a broke boy?" And then after wailing on me some more, she put a noose around my neck and said, "This is MAGA country." And then I was able to fight her off and get away, but that is my story. For legal reasons, this is a joke. Are we still going with Jussie Smollett jokes from 2019? Is that still relevant? Nah, whatever. I still demand reparations from Pokimane for what she did to me. But you get the point. People are making fun of this, but there's also people who are very angry about this and pointing out her hypocrisy. This tweet right here showing a screenshot of Pokimane reacting to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Because it turns out that this whole believe victims thing doesn't really apply to someone if she doesn't like them. And oddly enough, she was right here not believing Amber Heard, but anyways, this is the standard she created and now it's being applied against her.
Unredacted them so we could get context. Well, metadata next to it is so that
Ms. Heard, there is no question pending, and I would appreciate it if you wouldn't be making argument to the jury.
Sorry, I thought you had asked me about it.